Chapter 070. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hearing Su Changge's words, Su Xinyue's heart suddenly gushed with a warm current, and her heart was moved. It's nice to have a son. The black-armored knight suddenly became angry and roared lowly, "Boy, you are not looking for death." Su Changge ignored him, but grabbed Su Xinyue's hand and dragged her behind him. "Just stand in front of her like that, blocking these fierce black-armored knights in front of her for her." Then he said without hurry, "I'm looking for death. If you think you can kill me, you can try, ha ha ha, arrogant." The black-armored knight laughed. "My master just said that if you honestly hand over this maid, then he can show mercy and spare your life. But what did you let Grandpa hear? So arrogant, should be killed." Boom. The black-armored knight didn't say much, and after speaking, he started directly. A large knife slashed in the air and slashed at Su Changge's head fiercely. "Maybe I don't have to make a move, this kid will die himself." Deep on the street corner, Dark Knight saw the King Kong Gate make a move. His black eyes flashed with pity, and secretly said, "The King Kong Gate is a physical cultivation sect. The most important thing is to temper the flesh. Su Changge is ashamed to provoke them, and they will definitely be hacked to death by the other party." Between the electric light and flint, the black-armored knight slashed at Su Changge's body. Bang! Just listen to an explosion, and blinding sparks splash everywhere. The black-armored knight only felt like a knife slashed on a stone. Su Changge's head didn't even break the skin, but his big knife was shattered on the spot. His arms were numb with shock, and a powerful shock force directly shook him off the horse. Ugh! He fell hard on the ground, fell a dog to eat, and was embarrassed. The eyelids jumped in the Dark Knight, the pupils dilated. "I couldn't believe it. What's the matter? Isn't this kid unable to cultivate? Why such a terrifying body?" And in front of the large team, the black-armored knight's eyes widened sharply, and his face was full of disbelief. He said in horror, "You? What kind of flesh are you? What flesh am I, and what does it matter to you?" Su Changge didn't want to talk nonsense with him, and the huge force in his body surged, and with a single arm of 4 million pounds of strength, all burst out. Boom! This punch smashed the head of the black-armored knight, instantly smashing his brain case to pieces. Red and white things splashed out, and blood poured out. Plop! The black-armored knight fell straight to the ground, and there was no more sound. In an instant, the other black-armored knights gasped and let out a hellish scream. Shoo! 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 What kind of flesh is this kid? How can he be so terrifying? He actually punched the boss's head. Soon as he said this, Su Changge threw another punch and directly hit the black-armored knight in front of him. Boom! The black-armored knight's face was smashed on the spot, and his head was like a watermelon, directly penetrated by a punch, and then fell heavily to the ground, silent. In an instant, the faces of the remaining few black-armored knights changed wildly, and they hurriedly retreated backwards. "Want to go? Can it go away?" Su Changge stepped out in one step, running the shadow ghost step at the beginning, and the figure appeared directly behind them, and several punches were blasted out in succession. Boom! 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 His fists are invincible, and hitting these black-armored knights is like hitting a fragile piece of paper, punch by punch. In less than a moment, all the black-armored knights were killed. Shoo! Oh my mother! Looking at this scene in the Dark Knight, I only felt that my brain was buzzing, and I felt that my cognition was subverted. Isn't Su Changge without cultivation? Read more novels for free on our website, tinyurl.com/2AA54Z8B. How is this? Killing those black-armored knights is like crushing little ants. Gongzi. Su Xinyue rejoiced, "You are so powerful." Su Changge smiled slightly, and then groped on these black-armored knights for a while, successfully obtained 10 storage bags, and then walked to the palanquin. His eyes were like electricity, looked at the palanquin coldly, and said coldly, "Elder Kongmen, right? Do you dare to fancy my maid? Are you tired of living?" Suddenly, there was a gasping sound from the palanquin. The elders of the King Kong Gate were all frightened, their pants were wet, and they climbed out of the palanquin with a roll, and said, "This prince, I am wrong, dare to ask which sect you are a senior disciple. The junior will visit the door in a few days and apologize." Daxu Changge looked down, and saw that it was a goatee old man. And at this moment he was so frightened that his face turned pale and his face was bloodless. It won't be necessary in a few days, I want you to apologize now. Su Changge said coldly, yes, it's not right just now that the junior is not right, I hope the senior will not see it with me, the junior is fascinated by the color heart, and I hope that you adults don't remember the villain, spare me. The Vajra Gate elder's legs were limp, and he wept bitterly. Su Changge smiled coldly and said, what I want is not such an apology, if you don't understand the words, then you can die. What? The elder of the King Kong Gate turned even whiter, dared to raise his head, looked at Su Changge, and asked tremblingly, Senior, what do you want to apologize? Apologize for your life. Su Changge said coldly. The elder of the King Kong Gate was shocked in his heart and suddenly understood, the other party is going to make him commit suicide. Humph. He was a hall elder, when did he suffer such a loss? He was ashamed and angry at the moment, snorted coldly, used the strength in his body, and his palms slammed forward, shouting, trapped beasts, I fought with you. Boom. The cultivation of the Nirvana realm burst out instantly. Gongzi, be careful. Su Lianyue didn't expect this old man to suddenly change his face, and his heart suddenly raised his throat. Su Changge smiled coldly and said, it's really looking for death. Boom. He also slammed out a palm and greeted it, under one palm, the cultivation of the heavenly human realm burst out. Boom. Click. The palms of the two sides slammed together, like two huge waves colliding together, and a sonic boom was instantly transmitted in the air, like a thunder explosion, deafening. Sensing the power of Su Changge's palm, the face of the King Kong Gate elder changed drastically, and he lost his voice. Heaven. Heaven and man realm powerhouse. Bang! Su Changge's palm directly pierced his arm, and then penetrated to his shoulder abruptly, all the way like a devastation, and slammed into him fiercely. The shoulder of the King Kong Gate elder was directly removed, and it became shattered, broken bones splashed, blood flowed everywhere, and a large mouthful of blood spewed out violently, and he flew out in embarrassment. He fell to the ground fiercely, and before he could get up, he felt the strong wind in front of him, and Su Changge's fist hit his head. He hurriedly took out a storage bag and pleaded, Senior and slow, I have here. Su Changge never talked nonsense, slammed his head with a punch, and then snatched the storage bag from his hand and said coldly, kill you, isn't your thing still mine? After that, he added another punch, and with one punch, he directly blasted the Vajra Gate elder into a cloud of blood mist. Gongzi. Su Lianyue threw herself into his arms, tears welling up. Gongzi, you're okay, it's great, Liena is so afraid of losing you. Su Changge only felt a warmth in his arms, it was tears. He patted Su Lianyue's back, and smiled lightly, don't worry, isn't I okay? Later, he came to the palanquin men and punched them all, deep on the street corner. The Dark Knight watched this scene from afar, and it took a long time to slow down, and he suddenly snorted fiercely, shoo. Oh my God, he Su Changge, turned out to be, a strong person in the heavenly and human realm. He took a few breaths of cool air, and the guarantee he made in front of Du Sihai just now flew to the 9 skies in an instant, and he didn't dare to move anymore, pulling out his legs and running. Phew! Like a gust of wind, he quickly fled towards the outside of the city. Su Changge heard the strong wind howling on the street corner, swept his eyes sideways, and suddenly found the Dark Knight. Du Sihai's dog? He ran the shadow ghost step at the beginning, crossed 100 meters in an instant, and appeared directly behind the Dark Knight. Where to go?